invisible breath. The psychic once claimed the house is a trap, not for one spirit, but for a family that never left. No one trusted, but someone wanted to stay. Taking this believer, you walk down the aisle, building seats lined like silent witnesses. The stage is empty, but you hear faint music, a piano, slow, deliberate, playing itself. Legend says a former performer died mid-show decades ago. One actor swore she saw a man in an old tuxedo applauding her from the balcony long after the seats had cleared. When she looked again, the seat was empty, but still warm. Backstage, costumes rustled on their heads. Distant audience footsteps paced behind the curtains. And sometimes, the stage door slams just as someone steps through, but never opens again. Paranormal teams simply adjust to the recording to the male voice and might become part of them. Time. The Hamilton House. Winnipeg. You approach there. Hamilton House at 185 Carlton Street. Its faded brick facade barely conceals the secret it holds. Once the home of a doctor with a fascination for the paranormal, it's now whispered to be one of the most active haunted halls in Manitoba. Inside, the air is thick, almost electric. The furniture hasn't moved in years, but something else has. You hear footsteps upstairs, measured, heavy, deliberate, but no one lives here. The doctor who once owned this house didn't just study the afterlife. He's trying to open doors to it. Seances, spiritual experiments, dark rituals in the basement. His journals, found locked in a hidden drawer, spoke of and entities that weren't human. Visitors report sudden nausea, time loss, and visions of a man with bloody lasso staring from the staircase. A priest once kind of left them home. He left his ritual, trembling, saying only, "It's not one spirit, it's a swarm." One psychic claims the walls are staying here, not physically, but spiritually, like the veil is cleansing, and something came through. Surveillance cameras pick up shadow figures moving against the floor of the house. Doors open easily, against the TV. They look like ordinary places, hotels, things, but behind the wall, something waits, whispering, watching, and something follows you home. Welcome to our world's most haunted places, where the dead aren't just remembered, they're still here. One, Fairmont South, Springs Hotel, the haunted castle in the Rockies. You thought it was just another luxurious getaway to the mountains. But from the moment you stepped into the Fairmont Valley Springs Hotel, something felt off. Maybe it was after a family was brutally murdered. Their father, mother, child, all found lifeless. Yes, you stayed there before it was stripped up, waiting to see bloody handprints on the mirror, screams echoing and cold breaths that followed them to death. But that's not all. In the grand staircase, where you heard the faint sound of a wedding line. Legend speaks of a bride who screamed and broke her neck on the wedding day. And dancing alone, the ball's veil flowing, eyes empty, searching realize later, no such staff exists. One gets even tipped, only for the bill to vanish from her purse moments later. Grandma Cloud's friends is not just one. It remembers. So the next time you are alone, ask yourself, are you alone in the room? Or are you just the latest glance in a story that never ends? 2. Charles Cancel haunted the forgotten screen for bedtime. We didn't plan to stop, but the abandoned building called me to fall, lifeless and cracked with time. The Charles Cancel Hospital stood like a skeleton in the middle of it. Silent, but not empty. As we stepped through the rusty door, the air turned pink. The kind of silence that presses on your chest. The kind that listens. There's been early nights and others. It once treated indigenous patients, and it never left. Unmarked graves. Secret experiments whispered very secretly before. Locals say screams still echo nights, but no one's inside. At least, no one lived. We passed the hallway empty. The legs of unmistakable rattle of the burn. Slowly crossed the tile behind them. Turned. There was nothing there. The fourth door opened on its own. It was still open. We caught a glimpse of sunlight in the hospital gown at the end of the corridor. No cheese. Lost. There was nothing. Security guards swore heard a voice whisper his name through the vents. With that same night, never came back. They say cancer doesn't want visitors. It wants witnesses. And now that you've stepped inside, you've seen too much. So the real question is, will you make it out before the hospital decides to keep you? Breathe. Rooms and brown and up. Spirits beneath the spirits. You just wanted to dream. A simple night out event. But as soon as you stepped into the rose and sound club, the atmosphere felt heavy. Like someone or something was watching you from the shadows behind the bar. You took a seat. The bartender smiled politely, but the glass in front of you slid two inches by itself and laughed it off until it happened again. This building isn't just old, it's haunted. Decades ago, during renovation, a fire broke. A worker trapped in the basement never made it out. Some say his body is still buried beneath the floor. Others say his soul never left. Staff have seen under reply on stage. Doors slammed without One waitress grinned after seeing a man standing in the mirror right behind him. The waitress turned and jumped away. Then there's the upstairs lounge. Aprons report full spots, flickering lights, and the overwhelming smell of smoke, like something still burning. But the most disturbing story, the video packing up one night, heard footsteps behind him. He turned, expecting a bad thing. Instead, saw a charred figure, face unrecognizable, staring silently. Then it vanished into thin air. So go ahead and have your drink. But remember, at Rose's Crown, you're never the only one at the table. Or Edmonton Park, where history refuses to die. You came for a history lesson, but what you found was something far darker. At first glance, Fort Edmonton Park looks like a charming open-air museum, frozen in time. But once the sun hits the loop, it begins to cool. Something else awakens. It starts suddenly. You're walking past the old Berkman's house. Light flickers on inside. The house is long, and no staff are there. Visitors report hearing the laughter echoing and whispers, or footsteps pattering softly up the stairs. Some wake up and see a shadow standing at the foot of the bed. First, watching, even staff admit they avoid certain buildings after dark. You thought you were visiting the past, but it would have been fun. The past isn't just deserted. It's a lost one, and it's waiting for someone like you to step close. Fun. I'll do have fun. Government's House of Death. By its view, this bright red Victorian home, perched by the river in Calgary. But the house isn't just historic. It's urgent. From the moment you walk through the door, the air fills, the walls whisper, the floor screams not under your feet, but under someone else's. Since the 1900s, the house has seen involved murders, suicides, disappearances. A man was found dead in the attic. The woman's body discovered in the bathroom. The wrists slit. Another man vanished without a trace. Their doors are sealed with the wood and wallpaper. You sit in the dining room. Suddenly, the lights flicker. It chills slightly. You swear you smell cigar smoke, though no one nearby is smoking. Security cameras have captured cases on their own. Staff hear piano music at night. As a word from leaders, one former employee refused to go near the second floor after hearing a voice call her name from an empty room. The most filling guests describe the feeling of hands around their neck while climbing the stairs. It's visible. Old. The house doesn't want the stairs. It wants to but it's so full. So ask yourself, why is that door behind you slowly open? Six, long house, the living is still living. It's building a website to look for figure maker design tools. The free market first is the free-form candidacy, increasing anything you want anywhere on the page. If you add more structure, you've got stats and grids, which make you walk through the gates expecting elegance. You make it quiet after the beginning. Like a walking outside no interest. There's one built into the night quiet. This grand sandstone is dating Calgary. Once the law, the senator takes loud, and his wife is enough. But it's enough. If we worry about it, it saves her spirit everlasting. You feel it in the hall, the sudden drop in temperature, the faint scent of lavender perfume when no one is around. A volunteer, once locked up for them, only to find the lights on and the doors wide open the next morning. No signs of breaking, no alarm, just open. One visitor claimed to hear the swish of a dress passing behind her. Followed by a soft sigh. Another saw a woman in period clothing staring from the upstairs window when the house was closed and empty. The mirrors sometimes long without reason. Yes, long see fingers clutching their backs. Only to turn and find nothing but silence. This house isn't haunted by tragedy. It's haunted by pride. By a woman who refuses to leave her home. And if you listen closely, you might whisper in your ear before you speak. 7. The Railway Museum of Alberta shows its on the tracks. Steps off the middle train are expecting nostalgia, but the silence inside was suffocating. No land, no voices, just the hum of something. At the Railway Museum of Alberta, in Tuscany, time has started, but not the soul is trapped within. That sleeping part who entered in the 1950s, a man with his life there. His body wasn't found for hours. Since then, visitors have reported cold spots in the exact scene where he died, and sudden pounding sounds on the wall when no one else is aboard. Volunteers tell of footsteps echoing down the narrow train halls, always behind you, never beside you. Like in a bridge, he saw a conductor standing at the far end of the car, motionless, staring into the distance until he faded away by speed into night air. Late night, a maintenance worker heard a voice calling, and stopped. But the train hasn't moved in decades. The air smells of boiling rust. But sometimes, you catch the scent of cigarettes. The time once lit by passengers long dead. This museum doesn't just preserve trains. It preserves passengers who never reached their final stop. So ask yourself before you board. What if someone is still driving? You just don't want to get on. Birdsland Cemetery, whispered from the forgotten. You've gone cemetery was peaceful, quiet places for the dead to rest. But at Birdsland Cemetery in Calgary, the dead don't sleep. Established beneath the night, his burial ground holds over 1,000 souls, including soldiers, pilots, and hundreds whose graves are now unmarked, forgotten by time. Walk past the resting place, just as the sun dips below the horizon. The moon stills, the temperature drops, and then you hear a whisper. So faint, you think it's the breeze, until it says your name. Visitors report strange lights drifting between headstones, old school boards, who just had a read. One man followed one deep into the grounds. They discovered it was once a children's section, but the most disturbing thing, a woman the grave, odor, became silent. When a passerby approached the fellow, that all that remained was a puddle of tears, soaked into the frozen earth. Birdsland Cemetery is haunted by hatred. It's haunted by grief that never faded. And if you linger too long, you might start to feel it setting your bone. No. Old strapped on a high school. Lessons from the other side. You thought it was just a school brick walls, classrooms, lockers echoing with teenage noise. But old strapped on a high school in Edmonton teaches more than history. It teaches speed. Built in 1908, it stood through generations. But some say, not all the students ever left. It started small. A locker slammed shut at the end of an empty hall. Footsteps echo on the upper floor, even when the building's locked.
My knows that really stopping is hard. The kid advice like, just stop. Go for a run. Go for 10 runs. Run a marathon. Instead, start small with Thrive, which can lead to something big. Start stopping with Thrive.
Teachers dismiss it until it happens during class. No one in the corridor. No wind. Just footsteps. And a cold breeze that smells faintly of old They say a student once died during a chemistry experiment gone wrong. The lab was clean, the incident buried. But ever since, strange noises have come from that room. Wrestling, gas hissing, even walking sticks of no. One janitor quit after seeing a figure spring past the gym windows. On the second floor, no stairs, no lift. Just brick wall and open air. Students report blows thrown across the library. Lights flicker violently. And sometimes, when they look into the mirrors in the wall, they don't see themselves alone. Old Strathcona isn't just a school. It's a trap for memory, pain, and restless spirits. So next time the bell rings, check who's standing beside you. They might not belong. 10. Bowdoin Institution, the prison that still breathes. You stand outside the high fences of Bowdoin Institution, just off Highway 2.
He said fucking that. Why is superstore? Oh, she's she's buying groceries. Do I like them? I don't mind them. Yeah, you trying to buy it. Oh, fucking cash. You got cash? You should ask them.
So right now, I already got my stock.
Oh, what's stuff? What stuff?
I bought milk.
Oh,
Milk.
oh, you went shopping.
Can't do that yet. I'm pretty sick. Yes, I'm still playing this game.
Oh. Did you check it out? Just a couple of like 2 or 3 new games up. Oh. I'm not sure if it would be like the after games.
Yeah.
Yeah, your turn, smart ass.
Stuff can't do bullshitter. Bullshitter. Oh, that was a lot of damage. Damn, that's a lot of damage too.
KO, or KO, no, KO is us. What? You're trying to go buy the drinks.
Yep.
Cheat.
Bullshitter.
Cheat. Oh, we're gonna go shopping the other time.
Huh?
Oh,
I just need bits of milk and tortilla chips.
that's it? No salsa? No salsa?
Salsa jars like $15 at Superstore.
Oh shit.
I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, they're like $5 or $6 over there.
Still, that's still don't have expensive sauce.
Not here at Fresh Go.
I was at Superstore.
Oh, yeah.
I went to Superstore.
At Walmart or Fresh Go, they have sauce. And sorry, man. And I'll be like, so sorry on you. Okay, I'll recharge my bike. Hey, you go here, charge your bike too.
I did. It's charging.
Oh. Okay, we're good.
Two ends near red team. Cold steel. Concrete walls. Silence. But inside, something still screams. This federal prison has held some of Canada's most dangerous criminals over the decades, which seem bloody, stabbed, suicide. The blood never truly walked away. Guards speak in hushed tones about the old wing of ass, sealed off. No taxis, no access. Yes, at night. Motion sensors trigger without reason. Doors flash, radios pick up sound, and voices whispering in languages no one understands. One former inmate claimed he saw a man standing in his cell, staring with hollow eyes. Then the scream, the lights blew out. When they came, the soldier was lost. Then stabbed the voice burning. Then so was where the words happened. Sometimes, rise and hurt. The nurse found blood footprints leading down the hall. They could be strong into nothing. Built bars that soul. Those hold on to things like it's part of the foundation. It's this step in the wall. Now secret criticism is to this. But eventually, ghosts don't hear where you live.
Very darn new edition.
Patients make a choice between wanting whiter teeth or having sensitivity defective teeth. Now, they don't have
Good golly gee, sorry for making the show all Canadians related today, but wow, Cats fans are going to be pissed off at this. Man, for the first time, maybe in a long time, whatever it is the Canadians fan base is getting upset about, I think is actually 100% reasonable. Yeah, I know, right? Shocking. Sometimes I say that Canadians fans overreact, and I think a lot of Habs fans in the comment section agree with the same thing. Yeah, we know we can be a crazy bunch, but maybe this time it's actually okay. So, we're talking all this talk about the Olympics coming up in 2026 in Italy. And we had some news earlier this morning that 92 players for Canadians' men's teams, women's teams, and para-hockey programs have earned invites to national teams orientation camp in Calgary. And this is a big deal. It's not a surprising deal. We knew that this was going to come, but Hockey Canada has announced the rosters for the para-hockey, men's, and women's team. This is awesome. Let's go out there and see. Do we have the list? Where's the gosh darn list? You just made the list. Ah, here it is, men's roster. So, a whole bunch of guys ended up making Team Canada for the men's ice hockey team. Goaltenders, you've got Sammy Montembeault. Okay, great. He is now a part of Team Canada. George Bennington, Aiden Hill are also here as well. Bennington, of course, ended up winning the Four Nations face-off for Team Canada. Very good Wisconsin, which is really interesting. On D, we've got Evan Bouchard, Noah Dobson, Drew Doughty, Aaron Ekblad, Thomas Harley, Cam McCart, Brandon Montour, Josh Morrissey, Colton Barenko, Travis Sanheim, Shea Theodore, Devon Taves, and Mackenzie Weaver. That's a lot of names. But you gotta remember, not everybody who's listed here is going to make the team. There will still be some cuts. This is too big of a team to go out there and bring for Q1 Olympic Games. So there will need to be some decisions made. And then the forwards, you've got Connor Bedard, Sam Bennett, QB, Macklin Celebrity, Anthony Ferretti, Sidney Crosby, Brandon Hankins, Captain Bo, and Steve Gibson, and more. Zach Hyman, Seth Jarvis, Black Johnston, Travis Konechny, Matt Daddy, Brad Marchand, Mitch Marner, Connor McDavid, The Mitch, Brady Point, Sammy Reinhart, Mark Spencer, Mark Stone, Nick Suzuki, John Tavares, Robert Thomas, Carter Verhage, and Tom Wilson. So, 3 Montreal Canadiens ended up making the Canadian oriented roster for Team Canada.
Oh, wow, nice. I did that first try. Let's go.
Dobson, and you have Nick Suzuki. Look at how great that is. Will Dobson made the Team Canada orientation list, and he hasn't even played a game for the Montreal Canadiens. He's just that good. Okay, I guess. But still, this is a pretty good roster. I think it's fine. It's Team Canada, right? But the controversy is going to come with our updates with our friends south of the border. Because you had Tony Marinaro go out there and post this video on Twitter earlier this afternoon that's getting a lot of attention and that's getting a lot of folks upset. Breaking news. The SIP podcast is hearing that Canadian defenseman Lynn Hudson will not be on the list for USA's orientation camp, which will take place later this month for the 2026 Olympics. Hashtag USA Hockey. Hashtag Lane Hudson. And the video is just a short clip. 25 seconds long. It's Tony Marinaro going out there and saying that now Hudson is not going to be a part of the USA squad orientation list. Assuming it's true, which I mean, this is such a black and white scoop that I think it's like, yeah, okay, it's probably going to come true. Assuming Tony Marino's sources are correct, right? I mean, this guy's not just going to go out there and lie about whatever it is that he's hearing about. If Lane Hudson ends up actually making the orientation list, then okay, we can put on Marino off of that, but this is not seeming to be one of those things. If Lane Hudson straight up does not make the USA camp, then I don't know what else you have to go off of in that respect, right? I mean, okay, let's think about it like this. Let's go over to puckpedia.com, and we will try to find, okay, how many defensemen did Canada have? Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Canada, let's go over here and look at the player dashboard. We'll go to 25, 26. We will see 5 players here, and then we will look at our filters. Here we go, filters. Let's go over to 18. Player details, all right. We will get rid of centers, left wings, and right wings. We will go over to, can we go to country? Can we see that? Okay, no, I do not think we can see that. Yeah, it's not even listed here on Puckpedia as an option. So let's just go over onto Elite Prospects, because I think the premium filters will help us out with that. Let's go over to NHL for 24-25, and then we will look at the defensemen, all nationalities. Here we go, that's what we need. Nationalities, USA. Here we go. So, let's count out 13 defensemen that I think can reasonably first over Lane Hudson in Team USA's eyes. So, number 1, Zach Werenski. Yep, that's a fine name. You could definitely have him there over Hudson. Number 2, Quinn Hughes. He's there too. Hudson's actually third overall in points for American D-men this most recent season, so it's kind of weird to see him not be up there. But I guess if they think that he's too young, he's too inexperienced, then they might just go with Adam Fox over Lane Hudson. I think that's reasonable. Fox does have a notch to his name, there's pedigree there. And then you start to get into different territory. Okay, John Carlson, he's also a Norris winner, so that's 4 defensemen right here that we can comfortably say are reasonably above Lane Hudson. But then you also have to think about the guys that don't necessarily produce points. Guys that are going to more so be a physical force, like I wouldn't be surprised if Noah Hannafin was on the list. I wouldn't be surprised if Seth Jones was on the list. Maybe it's unreasonable to say that they could be on the list over the, for the sake of argument. Let's make them number 5 and number 6. So Hannafin, Jones, Carlson, Fox, Hughes, Walensky. Do you want to go out there and say the other teams? I don't know. Do you want to go out there and say I'm done at this point in his career? I don't know. Charlie McAvoy's over here. I think he's a very good player. Yeah, no, I think McAvoy probably should be the number 7. Yeah, he's probably going to be on Team USA.
Look at your toenails outside his back. Put trash in your plastic drink container. Left works. Oh, found it and still can't drink it.
But then you scroll down and it's like, I don't know how many of these guys really do deserve to be on this list. Let's sort by points per game. Cam Fowler had a really good season this year, but can you realistically say he should be on Team USA over Lane? Same thing about Luke Hughes. Same thing you could say about Jake Sanderson. Lane is so small compared to a lot of these other dudes. I think at the end of the day, whether it be an ageist kind of thing, oh, he's too young, he's too inexperienced, whether it be him having that size to compete at the Olympics, at the end of the day, Team USA, assuming this report from Tony Marinaro is true, Team USA will be leaving on some serious offensive firepower from their team if they choose to leave with Hudson off of it. I guess, the biggest argument that exists for Hudson not being on the team is that, okay, maybe they just want to go with Quinn Hughes and Adam Fox as their 2 power play guys. Everybody else can be a bigger dude who's physical, can produce offensively like the Joneses, like the Collisons. Maybe a Hannafin gets tossed in there, and a McAvoy. But maybe if Team USA wants to go with just Quinn Hughes and Adam Fox on the power play, it makes sense to kind of devalue Hudson with that process. But still, if you're building a team with the best players available, Lane Hudson's got to be on it, man. I don't know what you got to say, right? I don't know what there is to say. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Firstly, about Nick Suzuki, Sammy Montembeau, and Noah Dobson making Team Canada's orientation camp.
No. 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 What's that? I will see you on Tuesday. And then we'll see probably on Tuesday or Wednesday. Probably. Yeah, I'll let you know. I will text you.
Professional level max. Calls for new Lysol Dual Action Wipes. They don't just disinfect, they scrub with built-in scrubbers that can take on the toughest freezing dry.
I hate that we're making this video. Oh, that's not your game, Pat. Why don't you just not make the video? Yeah, stop saying that. me with my tail between my here, though. We were talking about a player that the Vancouver Canucks have been linked to, and the case that has been tossed around there as a potential, hypothetical, tricky, kind of a name target here. And it comes to us via the phone of not Cam Robinson. Sorry, Cam is on here. Sir Harrison Price from a few days ago going out there and talking about guys. One thing to try to have a player to play down the middle of the ice. Oh yeah, earth-shattering analysis here. But the source that we are referring to is none other than Jeff Harris, who also went out there to Harrison Price and spoke about Vancouver Canucks trade options. This was from yesterday's edition of the show, and NHL Digital Report does have the scoop here. This is what Jeff Merrick said in regards to Canucks trade options. If you bring in Marco Rossi, and I'm sort of sideways swiped at Jesperi Kotkaniemi, probably for a reason too, I don't know that if you bring them in, these guys are going to lead the Vancouver Canucks forwards. And that is a very fair thing to say. If the Vancouver Canucks get Marco Rossi, if the Vancouver Canucks get Jesperi Kotkaniemi, then are these guys going to be the top of the line Vancouver Canucks leaders offensively? Probably not. I mean, Rossi might have a better chance of doing so compared to KK, but still. You might be wondering, okay, what's this about? Like, he sort of sideways swiped at Kotkaniemi, probably for a reason? Well, NHL Rumor Report has the reply. Earlier in the podcast, Merrick said it was quiet in the NHL, but he joked that they'd get off the air and there'd be a trade like Kotkaniemi to Vancouver. This writer in NHL Rumor Report assumed it was a random hypothetical until Merrick brought Kotkaniemi up again later in the day in relation to the Canucks. So, I actually really like the way that NHL Rumor Report reported this. He said, yeah, Merrick tosses out Kotkaniemi's name as a hypothetical kind of joke, but then he circles back on Kotkaniemi when talking about Canucks trade targets, which all of a sudden makes it real. It's not fugazi anymore. It's not, just numbers on a screen. Now we are actually talking about the idea of KK in Vancouver, and I think it's relevant because we have spoken about this guy and the Canucks in the past. He has been noted as a Patrick Allvin Vancouver target in prior years. Now, let's just go up there and read some of the replies. If you trade for someone like Rossi or Kotkaniemi, you're not bringing in a guy who's going to lead your forward group. They might help, but they're not going to be that guy. This is what he is saying. And another reply says, WTF is happening. Okay, look, we're not just going to dismiss what Merrick goes out there and says because it's kind of confusing. But I did want to go over the Jesperi Kotkaniemi angle, just because I think it's something to talk about in the dog days of summer and the start of August, by the way. Jesperi Kotkaniemi is 25 years old, signed on to the end of 2030 at $4.82 million a year. Here's the thing about that, man. If he was just a middle to top six caliber center, if he could just get 50 to 60 points a year, this contract would be seen as a steal. He was signed to an offer sheet all those years ago, then is this behemoth of a deal, not because the AAV is long, but because it goes on till 2030. This thing was an 8-year contract extension, and Kotkaniemi signed it because, hey, he's getting himself some money, he's guaranteeing himself generational wealth by sticking in Carolina. And this previous year, the guy had 33 points in 78 games played.
Besides, high care alert. Get health monitoring.
Yes, he had 43 points in 82 games 2 years ago when he was 22 years old. His birthday's in July. He turned 23 at the end of this season. At this point in his career, it's like, wow, look at that. He's going out there and producing, and he's young, and he's cost controlled. And then he dips to 27 points, and then barely got back up to 30. This guy is in no man's land when it comes to offensive productivity and the way he is being used in Carolina. You're saying that this guy should be the Vancouver Canucks' main target? I mean, we've already made a fair share of commentaries talking about, oh, JT Miller, Henderson over to Carolina, and Kotkin, then he would come back and return to Natchez or something like that. That was discussed. We made videos about that, but Kotkin was never going to be that main piece to come back. And right now, you think about just where he is in his development. I mean, this guy played 9 minutes in Carolina's final game against Florida this recent playoff run. Did he even play the full thing? I don't know, man. He had some 11-minute games in there, 10-minute games, 12-minute games.
I don't know.
Well, I did. You have to play the ultimate game of golf in the front.
I'm just excited to play this game again. It's been a minute. Stay here. It's been a while since I won, so I'm definitely ready to get to the game.
So I think we go out and watch and see last time I played.
Keep going.
We'll do that thing this time around.
Sounds good.
I'll get it started up.
Whoa, hold on to the rock. Really good for someone. Sorry, I'm late this game. No, you don't.
Yeah, we do. I can't wait to get this thing going.
Say hello to me. My brother's so proud of mother. Then how's my baby doing on this fine day? What the hell? I'm doing amazing. Just, I didn't know you were in to survive. What makes the feeling go down because you're going to turn the game around?
Oh, yeah. I think we took out super rock, but that's the typical for real. Sounds good. We're playing on the nation's course. Like always. We're playing third hole because we're the coaches. The company's such a teacher. Good luck to everyone. Good luck to you.
Very much interesting. Good luck. Okay. Start it up. Super rock.
Yeah, for real. All right to come together.
Thank God for that. So how are you doing, though? Oh, boy. It's been a minute since we've won.
What's up, Al? Donald, are you good?
I'm fine.
Come on, Donald. Say you just do it.
I will. I never said it was easy for that. And how about I start us off with this amazing stuff I'm going to do for
It's what you promised me.
Okay, that wasn't...
That was an absolutely gorgeous shot. That's the next show to start off with. I'm surprised. Still talking to George, I bet you were doing something out there.
All right, George. Don't you think that's enough lately for one turn?
Ain't that the truth?
Watch out, Big Donald.
It's looking promising.
It's okay, though. We'll get it. It's only the first hole as well. Yeah, I think I can get it.
The divine retreat is the mystery
Nice start to the game, Phil.
of all life and cause of its divine
Well, that was actually a solid track there. Good job, Joe.
In the beginning, nothing else filled the world.
You got this, guys.
Then the Creator saw, descended from the sea.
Thanks, Ron. Look at the spot. Really fun to figure it out. Better luck than it makes you up to. Yeah,
I think I got this in the back.
nice one, Rock.
Okay, not bad for that. Yeah.
You got the dog. Just looking good.
That's awesome.
Good job, guys. I knew you would do something. Thanks for the support. I appreciate it. Just back on this door. Guys, doing something. I want us to be good.
He and his followers created the world.
Come on, Joe. Don't get that thing into this game. It's not to get out.
In the end, also sowed a seed on the earth. The seed soon grew to be a great tree.
Looking good.
Nice job, and thank you. I hope the replicate what you enjoy doing in the next time. And I will do the same. Let's King Donald stuff. And I wish you good luck too.
I don't think that is
The great tree bore 108 leaves, and various life rising to rose on the right
What the hell is this?
Thus, 108 leaves of life created
That's a good line, something else, Joe. Got a ride on this ball. What? You don't know. It's a very nice song.
divine mystery completely unusual.
That's a solid strategy.
But the story says it is still protected by the secret source.
Jesus Christ. All right, Joe. I'm just going to copy what you did over here. I don't know how that works for real. But either way, nice turn down. It's for us, not for us. Good find out. Let's see what you got there. I'm just the same thing. Damn it. That was stop and down. I know that. I know that. I kind of forgot we were in the beginning of this. We just kind of started. But I'll answer the end of like that. Okay, then, Jason, pop off. It's not a bad show. It was nice. Thanks, Justin. I love him. What the hell? Thanks for showing us how to proceed with the behavior. No problem. Now I'm going to try and position to complete the whole next thing. Well, that was definitely a nice job. Yes, sir. Just trying to finish up this whole relatively quick as well. Everyone's finishing up this hole. You'll be okay. It's your ASAP. As long as the things like this is preach it, you'll be okay like this. Fair enough. Go with what you got, sir. We're going to take the same path and learn from the mistakes down. Hold on. What's the world? How the hell did that happen? Sorry that happened to you too. Don't be sorry. I don't do opportunity to find right back my way. Definitely have some respect to do. For real. I don't think I did it. Nice job, John, for just making the station. It won't be too bad again. Watch this best of you. I'm going to get it from the hell. Looking promising. What is the world? Ain't no way in hell that gets worse. That's all. It seems like the name you randomly did that. That's all still. That was definitely a good shot. Hey, excellent. A lot has already happened. That was really going to. Well, I guess that's what happens when you have 5 people playing. Yeah, that's true. This is what you call the ultimate game of golf with the brother. Okay, but I honestly don't know what in the hell I'm supposed to do. Stay calm and keep observing the things. Donald, you got this. I'm not really sure what to do, so I guess I'm just going to straight. I'm to do Donald. You're leaving the lab and I hope you whatever it is. I don't think you're supposed to start the whole thing. Well, I guess I'm okay with this turn and let's see how you want to approach this. I will approach this like how my best is going to approach this. I think you're supposed to go in between the open and where the rocks are going. Yep. Got this from the angle and stuff. So position to do something. Amazing analysis and decision making with my best. Here we go again. Hey, Bill, can I ask you something? What's up over there? You ever get tired of working constant people? How the hell do I miss that out? That's so blood good. But to answer your question, Paul, it has to be. It does get a little excessive. Okay, you heard it for real. Well, that's what my deputy said. But I'm not going to fly. Yeah, and you're going to set yourself up the next turn and build suggestions. You're the first one up to try it, John. You already know what I got, Joe. I'm still done. Let them talk about it. I want to put them following. It's unfortunate, John. But at least we're still in the running as we can. I can't argue with that. I think we need to be more focused on the game, John. I think the rest will be better than that. Good job, it's good, Bill. Hey, you got that. Thanks, guys. It's pretty straightforward. And you can't be serious, George. What do you expect? Everyone shut the hell up right now. Bill is just okay. You're not loving every time I'm out on the play. I just want a nice and competitive match. While the drama was done, we saw that show. Let's just focus on the game. I don't know. We're sorry if it made you mad, Joe. Say please. Forget it. It's not for me to talk about this business.